What's up, YouTube? Daniel back here for another video. This is the frontal camera, first time doing this. And I want to share essentially the day. It's one of those days where very in your head, and already being on here is crazy. I already feel better, but it's essentially a day I didn't get to share. Um, just, a lot of work, especially in the morning. Had a call with my coach, which was great. But I want to talk about essentially the days that you'll have where it doesn't go how you expect. Obviously, the work I'm putting in is to not think, be at peace, be grateful. But you have those days where you wake up and yeah, it's you could say it's not out of your control, but there's things that God wants you to learn by being in a place you're in. It's low frequency. Um, Obviously, the high frequency days are what we aim for. Spiritually high, connected, laughing, joyful. But the low days are beautiful as well. The low frequency days, even when you're there struggling. Now I'm looking at it now. It's a lot of growth, crazy, and just being able to appreciate those days because those are the days where you most grow. The days when you're connected and everything's good, and you've done the work to get you there. Those are good days. Obviously, those are the days, but those are the days you learn, and actually, it's when you struggle. And you know where you have to go or want to be, but you're able to stay patient with it, be grateful with it, and yeah, essentially just I ride the wave. I see it now as riding the wave. People try to go against the wave or against the current, but riding the wave is essentially the moment that God gives you. You can ride that wave, which is what you're supposed to be doing. Everything is perfect. Every moment that's given to you is perfect. Only He understands why He gave you that wave. You never understand why He gave you that wave, but it's about riding that wave, not trying to go against it or paddle against it or not wanting to stand up and surf that wave. It's about understanding that there's no control, there's only faith and letting go. And this is something that I had trouble with, still have trouble with, because you've been programmed to basically think or have been sold you have control, doing like goals, organizing your life, trying to like micromanage things. The new one is ChatGPT, where people try to get information and think if they have all information at their fingertips, they have it all figured out. But that ChatGPT, I've realized, thankfully, I realized I don't use it anymore. I use it once recently for recipes, but that's about it. But asking you decisions you should make or how to make decisions literally ruins your connection to the source, which is God. Um, because if you think about it, ChatGPT is ran by humans, and they can really exploit and give you information that you know will give you a result that they want you to have. It's not something that's infinite intelligence like God, giving you wisdom from the source, from something that you can't see but is the most real. And it's important to understand that the tools that society gives you, most of them nowadays are going to disconnect you. Keep you low frequency, keep you in your head thinking, working for the devil essentially in your ego. ChatGPT is the biggest one. People have this notion now that they can, you know, outperform other people or outplay other people because they have this robot essentially giving them information. Because but I said, everyone's getting the same information from someone that's managing that information. It's not coming from you know nowhere. No one knows. It's coming from a source, sets of people that are giving information that they want you to have. It's not God giving you information that He knows you need to have in order to grow. And that's the way I see it. It's like you being able to walk and just having crutches. The same thing with ChatGPT. You're able to connect to the source as long as you have the habits and are doing the right things. But on the bad days, you're still connected. Like even me, even though I'm not high frequency, right now you could say, I'm still connected and I get thoughts. Especially when you don't listen to music. That's one thing I've been doing and not listening to music. It's another thing that keeps you in your head thinking about something or a feeling or a moment that isn't real. And it's when you're not low with your thoughts, you could say, but alone where God can speak to you by not having music in your ear is when you get the most information that you need to go through the days and understand more of what He's doing to you. You won't understand the bad days looking back, like me looking forward or trying to understand in the present moment is me allowing my ego to take over something that God wants me to experience with Him. Being grateful for these days, the hard days, the tough days, days where you're in your head, and still praying to Him. Praying out loud is important. Make sure He hears that, and just being grateful for the days that He gives you, because every day that you wake up is, you know, a bonus, or sorry, is the goal, and everything else is a bonus. So, um, it's something that it's tough to explain. But once you've felt or have seen or have experienced these these moments where you're connected, and you know what high frequency is, low frequency is, in between, overthinking how to get out, it makes it much more beautiful. It's the game that you're playing. It's not supposed to be 100% perfect always, and that's, for me, is something that I have to understand. I always have this addiction to wanting everything to feel right. For instance, waking up today, it felt weird, me being off, me being tired, and I wanted to do something, maybe like be grateful, but in a way to get a feeling out of it, or try to get out of it with more thinking, just because I wanted that feeling of high frequency and being connected. But that is simply something that the ego can use, because you felt it, to give you a sense of pride or superiority, because you've unlocked something that many people don't experience. Like, I talk about this all the time on my Instagram story of like being connected, spiritually high, but like no one understands. I don't think anyone gets what it means to be spiritually high. Um, and that's essentially, I just compared to the best drug you've taken, but sober, and without dependency on more. If that makes sense. Like when you take a drug and you have that feeling, you need, it's going to go down, so you depend on something else, on like another pill or another dose of it. But when you're connected like that, you actually want to remove more things, because you have this like crazy faith in something protecting you, which is God, but also yourself, and this, you know, um, a lack of dependence on anything external, which is crazy. It's the crazy thing I've experienced. It's been a few times. Like I said, it's not something you can do 24/7, because your brain can't handle it. It's literally like being high, but spiritually, and sober, without any vices. No vices, the way you'll get there. You can't drink and balance and have a little bit here and there and think you'll be able to reach that level. But like I said, it comes with constant work. You know, waking up at the same time every day, no vices, working out almost every day, burpees as well, um, to raise your frequency, tracking your macros, connecting with God, reading the Bible. It's very important as well. I was, doing the habits, but until I was reading the Bible and connecting with Him that way, it's a different level. It's literally a different level. So this video is to help me by sharing, but mostly help those in those days where they're doing the work and they know, what the goal is. They're just being grateful, being at peace, and not desiring anything. But they have those days where they can't get out of, that situation, and that's where you have to just accept it, let it go, accept you wanting to control how you feel and that frequency you want to be on, and just let it go, and just understand that He wants you to learn in that frequency. It's higher, low frequency. There's no right or wrong you can say. Obviously, the goal is high frequency, but you still get lessons in low frequency. You get most of your lessons in low frequency. High frequency is, when you've won the game, you could say, that day, like winning a game in a sport. But when you lose, or you're losing in a game, that's when you get the most lessons, like things you have to work on, things you're learning to get you back. So that is what I want to touch on quickly. I already feel better, and sharing is the key. Just me sharing this, where I'm at with things. I also had a day yesterday where I was able to connect much more profoundly with my uncle, which I'll make a video about another day. But this video is just to touch on today. But yeah, yesterday's was crazy, and just being able to be on this journey and connect more with things that you couldn't in the past is super key. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Much love if you stay till the end. More videos coming like this. I enjoy the long talks and just being able to spit wisdom or whatever comes from God through me to give to this camera. So yeah, if you like and subscribe. More videos coming like this. More just on the journey, growing, and as a result, everyone will grow around me. So I'm happy about where things are. Everything is perfect, and yeah, the goal is being grateful, understanding there is no goal really. It's just being grateful, understanding that uh, desires take you away from the present moment, and they cause you to think, which cause you to chase a feeling, which causes you to live for the devil. So hope the video helped you. Much love. We will talk soon. And as always, until next time, keep killing it.